you asked us all to do this team, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be rude here. I'm just this is a question I'm asking you, kind of. You asked us to do our all of us, and I think it's safe to say everybody picked the same back five, right? With the goal.
Yeah.
That shows you none of us sitting here could guess the front six. Yet you look at the other top 4 teams, even the top 6 teams, and you can pretty much guarantee 80% of the time you know who that starting 6 is up front for them. But we don't have that.
Fine. If you think
anger some fans have in the fact that there's no direction, that we're not sure where we're going or what we're really doing.
I get that, but if you take Liverpool, have got off to a flyer, right?
But Liverpool have a season, team,
if you take some of their front three, I didn't see all their games, so I didn't know who their front three was, right? I was not impressed with Darwin Núñez last year, and Diaz looked good. Like I've always said on many podcasts, where we're getting 90 goals from, I'm in agreement with the fact that we're playing with 2 wingers, they've got to chip in with goals. I don't care how flashy the winger is. I said, I don't care if you've got Messi on one wing and Ronaldo on the other. If they don't score goals, I don't want them in my side because we're never going to win nothing if the wingers don't score goals.
I don't care if they don't score goals, to at least set them up.
Yeah.
We're not even doing that. I'm sorry, everybody loves Son, but Sonny is not the typical guy that kind of crosses the ball into the box.
He's not the same player he was.
No, he's not.
I look at our squad and I don't see somebody that's going to be able to push the ball up and put the ball on Solanke's head.
True.
Sonny now is ineffective on the left. That's my opinion.
But with Son, what you've got, you can criticise him for everything. What you can't take away from him is his strike rate. He's got 16 goals last season, more than anyone else.
But Adrian, he was playing up front. He wasn't playing on the left wing.
But he'll still get the goals. You know he's going to get the goals. And he's got 2 this season already. Right?
But he was playing up front, Adrian, in that game.
And he's the only striker who can score with both feet because I haven't seen enough of Solanke yet. I'll take it on advice that people like him, he's good, and he'll fit the system, right? We know that. And he should score goals under handball. If you can't score goals under handball, the chances you're going to get, then you're never going to score goals. But, I mean, we keep going back. Son's not the problem, guys. Son will score goals. It's Werner, it's Johnson, it's Odegaard.
Isn't it?
Well, yeah, we need wingers that score goals. We don't know. Look, they may have breakout seasons this year. I hope they do, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Solanke's going to play. He's going to be our number 1 striker, right? Yeah. So Sonny will be on the left. He'll be playing on the left this season, majority of the games. If Solanke's injured, then Sonny will go up top, or Kudu will play there as a false 9. But we have to accept that Sonny is going to be playing on the left if Solanke's up front.
But it doesn't
that's exactly.
It doesn't be effective though.
I think he is effective every game, but I wouldn't say it's consistent. But he is effective. I wouldn't say he's not effective.
Well, how effective is he then if he's not effective consistently? If you don't,
he still scores goals from that position. He hasn't played up front all season.
16. I think
no, but that wasn't off the left though, was it? Or were we playing up front last season the majority of the time?
Well, it mixed up. I didn't think it worked against the low block. Well, then you'd have to look at
the majority of games though.
I haven't got that in front of me whether he scored more goals for playing through the middle or more goals on the left, but he got 16 goals. That's what counts to me. That's the stat I'm interested in.
I think he got like 2 off the left or something, from what I remember.
Well,
then you simply got to get more this season. There we go. No problem.
Like the rest of his goals, like 14, at least 10 of his goals, if not more.
I mean, how shit is that we're talking about? Fitting these sort of players in. Sonny's not doing this. Solanke, will he do this?
What I'm saying is, you
at the end of the day, we should Levy. All I'm saying is, we should have had better forwards come in transfer window. We wouldn't be even talking about this right now if we had better players in them forward positions. Wouldn't. If we had better options, then we wouldn't be talking about this.
Well, we've got 2 number 9s now, Ian, come to you. We've got 2 number 9s now, and Solanke and Richarlison. That's without Lancashire, who's going to be part of the squad. He'll get some game time this year. So I don't see Sonny playing through the middle unless we've got a horrendous injury list with our number 9s now. I just don't see it.
I agree. I mean, you look at the players. You got Solanke, Richarlison, Lancashire, but Ange doesn't like the kids, unfortunately, which I think is going to be a problem for him.
Yeah.
For me, you've got those three. You've got Johnson can play centre forward, Son can play centre forward, Werner can play centre forward as he did for Leipzig. So there's no shortage of number 9s at Spurs.
There's a shortage of quality number 9s, though.
They're not creating. Well, sorry, they're not finishing, should I say?
Yeah.
We're making the chances. I mean, Solanke could have got a hat-trick at Leicester.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fault him for his first game, though.
No. That was his. I was just about to say that. That was his first game.
Because you can't score every time, and players miss, and there were some games that Kane didn't score every game. And we're not going to find anybody remotely close to him. So it's not a criticism, but the chances are there, and we're not taking them, and that's the problem. Our XG rate is probably, I don't know. In terms of chances missed, we must be higher than most clubs in the Premiership for the first 3 games.
But isn't that a good kind of indication of what to expect in terms of opportunities created? Because the more you create, the more likely they are. Hopefully, someone will start going in. Things will start to click once we kind of settle that front 6, the middle and the front.
That's a good point, Bobby. And isn't it, an indication that Ange's system is actually working? In the attacking phase of play, where we are getting big chances, but we ain't putting them away. So it's just the defensive side of it. If he actually just drops the back 4 yards, I think this system can work. It's just little tweaks in his system that he needs to change. But
it doesn't seem like we're willing to give him the time to do that.
I think
we need to give him time, a year and a half in the job. At the end of the day, that's nowhere near enough time for a manager to.
I agree. You know me. I'm deluded happy clapper over here.
I want to discuss the forward line and the back and your teams. I want to talk about our midfield.
That's why you were invited on, Bobby.
Yeah, Ange can make plenty of permutations with the players he's got for midfield. You've got even with you've got Bentancur, Basuma, Sarr, Maddison, Gray, Bergvall, even Decky. That's 7. So you can make lots of permutations of having 3 in midfield there. I mean, last season, to me, I'll start off. I thought we were weak. We buckled. We didn't help the defence because our midfield buckled. We tend to flow. Somehow we got 5th in the league. I mean, Højbjerg at the time and Skip did help. They did as best they could for us. But we needed a bit more in there because we should have finished 3rd, in my opinion, last season. With the
that was mean, Adrian. That was unnecessary. That was unnecessary, though. You shouldn't have brought up poor Ellie. Look at her; she's got a tear.
No, I'm not. No, I'm saying, but even the midfield would have been helped if we finished our dinner up front. We missed 30 big chances. Yeah. If we'd won 1 or 2 more games, we'd have finished 3rd, not 5th.
No, Adrian, we were 15 points behind Liverpool.
Yeah, but where were they?
That's 5 games, not like
3rd. 14 points. We had 68, Liverpool had 81.
5 wins short then. If we do the maths, it's 5 wins.
We're well short of Liverpool.
We were the 5th best team, 100%. We weren't the 3rd best. We weren't the 4th best. We were the 5th best.
I disagree.
As I said on the show the other day, when we were top after 10 games, to finish 5th is a disgrace because 90-something percent, I think it was 94% of teams
we broke Premiership records.
No. Yeah. 94, I'm sure it was 94% of teams that are top after 10 games get top 4.
So that being said,
Bobby, if everyone's fit in midfield and everyone's on their top form, who's your preferred 3?
For me, my preferred 3, honestly, in top form would be Sarr, Basuma, and Maddison. But I'm talking about, like you said, exactly in top form, fully ready to go. Because I think
he played that
Basuma have a lot
3 times pre-season. He played that. What about you, Hez? What would be your best three? We'll come through all of you.
Bentancur, Sarr, and probably Kulusevski, actually.
Over Madison, yeah, okay. Ellie, what about your best three?
Yeah, I'm not playing Madison. Not consistent enough.
Okay.
Rubbish.
No, but listen to what
He's been
Adrian said,
packed
Ellie.
for us.
Top form, in form, fully.
I'd play Bentancur, Sarr, and Basuma. Those three.
Phil?
Even though Basuma has been inconsistent, he's still done a lot more.
I mean, Andrew's going to have to find several blends throughout the season just for rotation.
I just don't like.
Phil, what do you think?
I've gone off him.
What's your best three? Can you hear us?
Yeah, Bentancur, Kulu, and Madison. That's our best. That's our best midfield. For me. Kulu brings you know, a lot to us. I think he can hold up. He carries the ball well. Madison, if he's at peak, then he gets 20 GA a season for me. And then you've got Bentancur, where I think he's underrated as a player, but he's just inconsistent because of his injuries, which is a shame. But I think he's a quality midfielder.
Yeah.
Top of the game, you said? They're at their
peak.
They're doing their best, and they're healthy.
Yep. Top form.
Top form. Basuma, Bentancur, Madison. I think top of their. They just haven't. Madison hasn't been top of his game, but I think those three top of their game, difficult to beat.
Yeah.
Ian, you're through.
Well, I'll give a top three now and a top three that I think will finish the season.
Go on.
I think if you're talking about the three players at their peak, then I think Bentancur is number one, and I think Basuma and Madison at the moment. I think Sarr's not done it for me this season, and I think by the end of the season, and I'll put my number up, I think it will be Bentancur, Gray, and Bergvall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If the two kids are given a chance,
that would be great.
then I think they'll take those positions.
I actually really like that.
I think they're two quality players.
Yeah,
especially Bergvall. I love him.
Yeah.
I actually think Bergvall's going to be playing in probably 4 or 5 games. I think it'll be a regular in there, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But
Mud Mark, I'll give you mine after Mark. Go on, Mud Mark.
Right. On peak form, 100% form, it's got to be Basuma, but you got to give him a balloon before the game.
No laughing at him.
Never worked.
Give him a couple.
Archie's stealing my line. I said that earlier.
Oh, did you?
Stephen,
Oh,
you're
sorry.
wonderful.
Give me in the dressing room.
No, Basuma, Bentancur, and Madison in peak form. But the only trouble is Madison drifts in and out. It's like is it David Clark, the guy who says hi from Leicester?
Yeah.
When we signed him, there was a show I was watching or I was on. He put in the chat, "You'll get Madison. He'll be good for a dozen games. Then he'll get injured. Then he'll drop off, and you won't see him for the rest of the season."
What happened?
I remember
it was. It was. It was in the chat. I don't know whose show it was, but that's exactly what happened. So I mean, I agree with what Ian said. Like, especially Bergvall. Bergvall's look very promising, but he's still young. You don't know. But
Yeah,
I
we
can
need
see Bergvall
some,
playing.
and I hope the fans they probably will be because they're young players. I mean, they can't be on the B list for the Europe because they've got to have done 2 years with the academy before you can go on the B list. That's why they're not on it. My first pick, if everyone was fit, would be Bentancur. I think he's a very unreal. I think he's a superb footballer. I really do think he's superb. He's got it all. Drives us up the pitch, got it all, got the bite, got the aggression. I wish some of the other midfielders, I wish Sarr, who's got loads of potential, who's got high ceiling, needs to have a bit of bite to his game.
Yeah, he needs a bit more composure on the ball.
I think he's okay. There. I just think to me, it's like show us a bit of aggression. Don't, because at times he does good things. I mean, like away at Villa when he goes down the wing and he crosses for Madison to score the first goal and things like that.
Yeah.
So
he needs to get a bit of Vieira inside him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Arsenal.
if he's on top form, you'd have to pick Madison's quality when he's on on form.
When
Someone open the defense up. I mean, like, you got to pick him, and a player who, if he does it for me, he can go next season. But I'd put him in would be Basuma. I mean, because he has got it, But it's question is the dedication, and like stop being the party animal, regular on others. You know what I mean? So that'd be my best.
Madison was on a golf channel that I watched. The video got released today, but it was filmed before the season started.
Yeah,
but he's like more into his darts and golf, and he likes snooker as well, because I've seen him on Stephen Hendry's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
No, change his name to Gareth Madison.
Football.
Yeah.
That's what he should do.
Well, as long as he can get us out of the snookers if we get into him during the game, you know what I mean, then we'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'd say to Madison, get on that football pitch and practice your shooting, get fit, because he's not 100% fit yet. You can see it. He runs out of steam after 60 minutes.
Right. Let's move on to what I wanted to ask you all, right? Individually, pick a North London derby game, one of your favourites, anyone, all right? Before we move on to the next subject. I'm not asking you to pick a goal or nothing like that. Just pick a victory, any victory that you was at or that you watched. Come on, you're always predicting we lose games, so like you can start first. And you were late. You were late again.
You party pooper has.
Danny Rose on his
2-1, yeah.
2-1 game, yeah.
Ellie?
When we beat them 2-1 when Gareth Bale and Aaron Lennon scored. I loved that game because I loved Gareth Bale went right up to the camera and went, ah!
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
2013.
Yeah, that would have been a year. He left, one of them, either him or Modric left in 2012 or 2013.
That was the ABB one, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Alan, from across the pond and your experience of being a Spurs fan, which is great to have us. Great to have you.
Probably the last time we beat Arsenal, which I think was under Conte in 2023 when we went 3-0.
Yeah.
It was a real must-win game because we were trying to make fourth.
You should have been there. You should have been in that stadium.
Brilliant that game. He did. Højbjerg played out of his skin that game.
They bricked it, even after Holgate got sent off. But they were nervous when they came out anyway on the pitch. You could tell they were crap.
He's gone, Ellie. He's gone, man.
I know he's gone. Don't worry, I'm moving to Marseille.
You got to move on. We can get you therapy, Ellie. Don't worry. We can get you therapy.
Yeah, I've seeked it already. Don't worry.
Phil, give me a victory against the scum. Come on.
Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't attended North London derby before, but one, obviously, I watch them all the time. But one was has spot on. The Danny Rose one was quality. That's the one I fondly remember anyway.
That's
just because it was his debut. Do you know what I mean?
Do you remember the cat memes that came out when Danny Rose scored the goal?
Yeah.
It's funny, man.
I thought it was Zuma or something for kicking the cat and all that.
Brilliant debut and what a strike! Couldn't have hit it more sweeter. Do you know what I mean? And against the Scum as well.
And he ran to Harry Redknapp, and Harry Redknapp pushed him away.
Yeah,
get back on the pitch.
Yeah.
Bobby K, pick up North London derby, a particular favourite. All the wins are favourites with me, but pick one.
Not the one you went to, by the way.
I was going to say, actually, I already had Alan kind of steal my answer over there with the previous game, the first North London derby at home in front of fans at the new stadium where they just smoked them 3-0, because the scenes from that game from the fans is what inspired me to basically give up all my holidays for the following year and bring my sons over there and come for the next NLB.
As I should have mentioned this earlier, these were the scenes taken from that game. Right?
Arsenal get battered everywhere they go. Arsenal get battered everywhere they go. Everywhere they go.
Yeah, more of those.
But there's that's right there, what you just showed me, Adrian. And then I saw the videos of with the flares in the streets and everything, the way the fans were walking up to the stadium with the white and blue flares being shot off everywhere, and that lily white army walking towards all those scenes were just like, you know what, I've got to get over there. And how perfect was it that the next NLD ended up being on Little Kay's birthday, that we got over there. Unfortunately, we did not get to sing that song. It was dreadful. Like I would have been happy. I think, well, happier. It was still a great experience.
You enjoyed the experience of
100%. I got to meet so many wonderful people. I got to get to Ellie's house and meet her lovely husband and eat Ellie's famous mac and cheese. For any of you in England, make sure if you're ever near Ellie's, get over there. Yeah. Sorry, what was that?
Ian, pick up North London derby. You must have been into loads like me. So,
well, that season Arsenal only won. They only lost one game in the league to Chelsea, and we hammered them at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final in '91. And for me, that was magnificent.
Odd Mark.
Now, I told you before we come on out, I've been to two. I went to the '92 charity show that was 0-0, and I went a few years later to White Hart Lane, the old White Hart Lane, and we beat them 2-1. But I was frantically Googling, and you press the live button, so I didn't have a chance to find out when it was. But we were 1-0 down. We were 1-0 down and 1-2-1, and I was right at the back of the East Stand.
Nice.
And honestly, I can't remember what happened yesterday, let alone like 25 years ago.
I'm gonna
surprised you remember what happened this morning.
No, definitely not.
I'm gonna pick our record goal scorer, Harry Kane, because he scored more goals against Arsenal than any other Spurs player, isn't he? And I'm going to go for a more simple game. The 1-0 at Wembley when he scored. You remember Lacazette missing right at the end of the game when Wenger was manager?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Lacazette.
No, it was Aubameyang missed it. We saved the penalty. That game you're talking about.
That was the 1-1.
That was the 2-2. That was the 2-2, wasn't it?
Sorry.
I like expressions he called Lacazette.
Reece saved the penalty to keep it 2-2. Otherwise, we would have lost. This was the 1-0.
Was it the Kane header from Davies' cross? Is that?
Yeah, he scored the header.
Davies could do nothing about
Davies done a beautiful cross on the head.
Headed it onto the other side, didn't he? Yeah.
The one when Harry Kane scored with the mask.
Yeah, where he rips the mask off.
Right.
One of the first NLDs I ever got to watch was, I think it was like, geez, it's got to be around 2000. It's got to be over 20 years ago. It was that big 5-1 win we had.
Yeah, in the
way back.
League Cup semi-final.
In the League Cup.
I
League
can't
Cup
remember it. I
semi-final.
just remember it. That's when we started kind of, football was getting more and more popular and it was accessible here. We were able to watch it on TV without having to go to a pub specifically or something. So I remember I got together with cousins of mine and they're all Arsenal fans. So that, just sitting in that room, watching the tears shed. And while I sat there and just, I wanted to bring out floaties and just chill because it was like being in a swimming pool of all their tears and it just made it that much better.
You just sat in the corner smoking a cigar.
That's it, baby.
The Dele Alli flick over, the Dele Alli flick over, was it Peter Cech who was playing for Arsenal then? A little flick over the keeper. Harry flicked it over, put a long ball over the top. And
that was at the Emirates, the Dele Alli goal.
Yeah, that was at the Emirates.
I watched that goal.
Later below, Bale scored against Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it came up on Instagram. Dele Alli's goal against Arsenal. That was such a brilliant goal. He's
brilliant goal.
Calm and collected, isn't he?
Little flick over the keeper.
Harry Kane scored some fantastic goals against Arsenal. Harry Kane scored some worldies. The one where it come over and he just headed it back the way it came from. He just like rose like a salmon in the box.
Did he mean it? You know the one where he ripped the mask off? When he's come out on the left wing and he's pulled one in and it's gone right in the top corner, isn't it? And he ripped the mask off and ran like.
Yeah. And there was the other one where the ball comes over and he heads it back the way it come. And it went right in the top corner.
Was that the Bentley one across there?
Possibly, yeah. He just rose like a salmon.
First season.
Brilliant. I love how
somebody's going to turn up. Somebody's going to turn up Sunday and get a brace. You watch, mark my words, man. Clip it.
Not if he's playing off the left. He's not going to do it.
No.
Harry bringing
Yeah,
that
most of his
positivity
goals.
again.
Even in the derby, if you look at the derby where he scored the actual brace at the Emirates, he was playing up front.
Right, we've got a subject now that we're off the NLD until we get to Friday, and we'll probably go over a bit of it again. Our second subject is one that has been manifesting deep in the souls of Spurs fans for a few years now. Want to talk about Spurs' future owner or investor. Why would a multi-billionaire or multi-billionaire organisation want to invest in Tottenham Hotspur or buy the club outright? Whether an investor or new owner are a better option for the club, or will either be able to make much difference under the new SCR squad cost ratio rules.
Oh, can I start on that one?
Well, yeah, you can go on that one. Yeah, doesn't matter.
Tottenham is the best turnkey operation to buy in the Premier League. Ground is complete. Training ground is complete. It's all there.
Young players are there. They're going to have future resale value.
Why would somebody come in and buy the club? It makes money.
Why wouldn't you want to buy a business that was purchased for 30 million and is now worth 7 billion?
Well, first, you're never going to get anywhere near 7 billion.
It's not 7, right? Well, the way it works in firms and all that, they value a business on 5 times your turnover. So if you've got 5 times 5.5, 550 million, that would value the club at 3.75 billion. So that is realistic, Bobby Case.
That's where MSP values it at.
Yeah. So
regardless, 30 million to 4 billion, 30 million to 1 billion.
220 million. There've been quite a few share issues.
Ian, what you just said there, Levy ain't going anywhere.
Unfortunately, he's not going anywhere.
You know, what you just said, it just explains everything that Levy's doing.
Why would he?
We are stuck with a chairman who has no interest in winning trophies. Nothing. Zilch interest. It's only about making a profit. That's it.
It's like you said already, it's the best business model available in England right now.
Correct. By a mile.
Easily.
So there's your reason why another businessman, because you're talking money. If you're talking
money, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
If you want somebody that's going to come in that wants trophies, then they're going to look at Liverpool. They're going to look at Man City. But when you look at those clubs, you're also looking at what their wage packets are and how much money they're spending as well. We're significantly lower in our spending. So the profit margins are significantly higher. So like you said already, if it's a businessman, then this is the best.
Then you could argue Spurs are sort of a sleeping giant because we haven't won anything in like 16 years. We've got this amazing stadium.
Sleeping? We're in a coma.
We've got this amazing stadium, this amazing training ground, which anyone bangs on about. And yet...
And a hotel coming.
And a hotel and Disneyland.
That was a great comment, Mark, earlier when you said the hotel will be built before this team will be.
I've said it on here many times, Bobby.
You said that in our chat earlier. I thought that was one of your best comments.
I say it on here virtually every time we're on. That the hotel will be finished before the building of the squad. Because it's obvious. The hotel...
Isn't the main reason? I don't see how an investor benefits the club at all in any way whatsoever. And I'll come into why you buy later to buy outright. It's a different ballgame. But an investor comes in, say they buy a quarter of the share. Say for example, the club's worth 4 billion, and they come in with $1 billion or whatever it is, or even 500 million. I mean, it then depends what Enoch want to do with the money. They could bin it. It's their club, their money. They could bin the money unless they've got to distribute some amongst shareholders, right? Or you use that money to build the hotel, no matter how much that hotel comes, whether it's 60 million or 100 million to build it, because they haven't got
300 million, Adrian.
What, to build a hotel?
300 million for the hotel.
Jeez,
there goes our transfer
60 million. You're building a
and
hotel.
then you're talking about.
Is it made out of platinum?
Then you're talking about. Let me finish, Mark. Okay.
Gold.
Then we're talking about developing the Women's Super League training ground, and perhaps, depending on the future, whether this club's going to go for a full NFL football league in this, because you've got the days to do it. If you cut out the football, the boxing, the concerts, and all that, you could have a full league program in London of NFL games. A franchise could come here, and you could develop NFL football pitches over there as well. But then you talk about. Does anyone think that, like, if an investor comes in, any money's going to go into the squad?
None of it.
Why?
Nothing.
Why? Neither do I.
Why?
Why?
You're making so much money off of what's happening now. Why would I spend more money unnecessarily?
But they, the club have posted losses over the last 2 years. I mean, you've got 70 million depreciation on the stadium, right? So that gets it down.
But they're posting the losses based on their investments.
But we do have 671, I think it was, million debt on the stadium, and it was 308 million owed in agents' fees, transfer fees, and stuff like that. Now, I stand corrected; those figures are wrong, but we know it's over 600 million. And now, part of that, at least 20% of that 308 million, should have been amortized in last year's account, so that will be gone. The whole idea is if you can keep that figure down, which is the wages as well, and the wages were 251.1 million last year, which was higher than Arsenal's wage bill, but I think it's because we had a bloated squad, right? That's why we have more wages than them. But so if you can keep them football-related expenditures down, it means you can spend in the transfer market. But I think we had at least another 50 mil we could have spent in this window that we had.
How pro go to the hotel?
Well, I don't know. I mean, forget the value of the hotel, right? It's a question of you think any money will be put into the team rather than they want money. They haven't got the money. Look, the reason you want to invest that is because you need to raise funds. Why do you need to raise funds? Because you haven't got the money, right? Now, the club functions okay. It's like us lot paying a mortgage or whatever. You got enough to pay it and a bit left over, what? Fine. The club functions. But if it was debt free, it would be a profit making, really profit making thing, wouldn't it? But it's not. But the debt's manageable at maximum at anything from 2.5 to 3.75% interest on it. You're never going to get them interest rates again. No one's going to get them, right? So the club's very healthy financially. But my argument is, if you're a multi-billionaire or you're a multi-billionaire organisation, and you say say, for example, stadium, everything else is worth 4 billion. Why are you going to spend? And most football teams do not make a profit, right? So why are you going to spend 4 billion on a club? Why? When can you expect to get a return on your money? What, in another 50, 100 years' time?
But you're not buying just Tottenham. You're buying Tottenham Entertainment Industries.
Yeah.
We're looking at just the footballing end because that's what we care about as fans. But for a businessman that's coming in, they are not looking at that. They're looking at numbers strictly. And at the end of the day, it's already been pointed out that we generate ridiculous amounts of money and do very well with the money from a business perspective.
Those of you that own your own properties that have had them for years, and you realise, like, when I first bought my house, it was 30 odd grand. Now it's worth like 400, right? Now, if you can gentrify the area around Tottenham, like Brixton's have done, and all, then of course, when you've got your investor is invested, the land value goes up in the area, therefore your property values go up accordingly, right? So then you have gained on your investment, but you're going to have to wait a while, years, for that to happen, right? The only way I see a buyer coming into Spurs, and anyone can correct me if they think they're wrong, is if you're such a rich organisation, the money don't really make that much difference to you. If you were like an Alphabet or own Google, or if you were a Microsoft, or if you were like Elon Musk, and you could call the stadium SpaceX because it looks like a spaceship, right? You could come in and do that. And then to me, you would be buying it because it's a shining jewel. It's in London, not because you're making money as such, but because as part of your portfolio, and you move and you take that over, you've got, when you're a company that size or a single owner that size, you've got hundreds of business partners that want to be a part of you. And therefore, if you take over Tottenham Hotspur, you can use it to enhance your global brand for all the other companies you've got. I don't see any other attraction of buying a football club. Other clubs, unlike Spurs, wouldn't be attractive at all. Spurs are in a unique position to have a buyer, a sole buyer, you know. But what I don't like the idea when they talk about Amanda Staveley and 15 partners. I mean, like, partners can never agree on anything anyway, like coming in. I mean, like, you'd really want one single rich organisation or single person to come in and buy this football club. I mean, that's what I'd like to see in my lifetime. I've never been against a change of ownership as long as it's the right fit for us. But what do you think, Ian?
I don't think. Will they sell? I don't know. I think Lewis will probably sell. He's 87. What does he want it for?
He's put all his eggs into his daughter's basket now because he had to distance himself for them charges he faced in America.
Well, but that's done, isn't it? That's done and finished.
Yeah. So basically, like, and Levy owns 29% of ENIC. He's a billionaire in his own right, virtually. You know, He's got to be worth 500 million, worse wise. You know, so
the thing is with all of them, the thing is, right? Why would they build this cash-generating stadium that they're raking in money hand over fist and then sell it immediately?
Well, you see, also spin-offs to that, right? Now,
well, yeah, exactly.
Right.
If you pay 220 million and you're selling it for 4 billion.
No, but the point I was trying to make is they've only just built. Hang on a minute, Adrian. They've only just. Well, it's been 5 years, and so 1 or 2 of that was COVID affected, so there was no one in there. But now it's up and running again, and everything's open. I mean, I've been to the stadium a few times, and it is basically, it's like a cash point. You just walk in there, and there's like, I mean, they got that bar that can serve like 10,000 pints an hour. It takes about 3 seconds to fill up from the bottom. You know, no one else can sing that, but you know, you've got this vast money making machine that is just to bring in the money in, just bringing the money in now. You know, after COVID and whatever, everything's back to normal. And so why? What would possess them to get rid of it? In my mind, as much as I don't like them, and I'd like a new owner tomorrow, but it's not going to happen.
No, I agree with you, Mark. I think it would have to be an offer that's absolutely ridiculous.
Like
The Godfather. It could be an offer. Give me an offer I cannot refuse.
It'd have to be 5 billion, 6 billion.
Sugar was wise. No, Sugar was wise. Go on.
They're not going to get 5 or 6 billion.
Sugar was wise enough to hang on to a large chunk of shares. If ENIC went, you know they'd still hold on to a large chunk.
He sold them.
Who has?
Sugar sold them.
He sold them all, did he?
Sold them years ago. He sold 29 of his 42%.
When you look at what they've earned
I think I was told he sold the other 13% about 16 years.
When you look at what they've earned for their investment, because they're an investment, ENIC are the English National Investment Company. When you look what they've earned it over a period of years, right? That they've earned. Now the growth now of the equity value of the club, until you build the hotel and finish up, would go up. It's not going to go up as fast as it went in the past, but there is a vast untapped market out there. Spurs are reported to have, which is probably a lot less than Liverpool, Man United, a 34 million fan base out there. 34 million. Now, some of them fans obviously be very poor people, can't barely probably scraping to get by day. But others are potential,
Half of them are my family. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but out of that 44 million, there's probably an untapped market of potential buyers of, I doubt if they'd buy shirts, because in Asia you'd probably get the Spurs shirt for 50 pence, where over here is 80 quid. You know what I mean?
It's £3 actually, Adrian. That's a bit of exaggeration.
Yeah. You have to pay for the cross stitching.
I see. As much as I would like a new owner, as long as they're the right fit for the club, if these new rules, if the Premier League can ever enforce the rules they've got, let alone adding new ones to them, then you look at Newcastle, right? Their owners are worth 36 billion. right? And they can't spend the money because of financial fair play, profit sustainable.
I thought they were worth
what's
more
that
than that.
tell us? No, my argument, my angst with the club, apart from my experience at the stadium with a friend of mine and all that, took a funny turn. My angst with the club is that I said it before to people, is I want us to be able to maximise the amount we are allowed to spend in the window. We haven't done it in this window, and I think that'll please Levy. I think we're at least 50 million. We could have spent more. We only rumoured to have spent about 70, and we've averaged about 600 million. I think it's more than that since the stadium opened in 2019. So I think we could have spent more, and we haven't. So Levy will think, oh, don't matter if we don't get top four. I've got the money. We would have got if we got top four anyway. And I think he'd be more interested in Ange going all the way in the Europa League, because that gives you a Champions League spot anyway. So we've got 2 chances this season, and I think we will really go for it in the Europa League. And I think actually it's a very good chance because we got 8 bites of the cherry. But on the financial side, I think all clubs are going to be constrained by these rules. I mean, I actually think the rules are a good thing if everyone abides by them, because it does create a level playing field as such, you know. But the rules are good in that respect. But
they don't apply to everybody.
And I don't know, because me and Ian talked about in the last podcast or the one before about, I don't know what happens because there is a transition period between rules. So you had FFP, financial fair play, or PSR, profit sustainable rules, whatever acronym you want to live with. And I don't know if there's a big allowance of a chunk of money switch over that, because you've had a lot of fans say, oh, we could spend 400 million, we could spend 250 million, we could spend this, that, and the other, which I don't think is correct. I don't know what the transition period allows financially, and whether now after this transfer we might have lost that opportunity anyway. I don't know. Right, I'm not up to that. When it comes to finances, I leave it to Kieran Maguire, the Brighton supporter who lectures on football finances at Liverpool University. So I tend to go to him, and see what he's saying about football and his latest news, because he is spot on. Right.
But Adrian, sorry, if I could just backtrack a little bit. If we are talking about somebody coming in and buying it solely as a business and not a footballing club, like Ian's pretty much already said, that's somebody's going to come in and not look at this as a club to, oh my God, this is the club that I want to buy because they win trophies and they're exciting and they're really good and they're on the right path. And they're going to look at this as a business. Does it not put a bit of fear in you that we could end up with somebody potentially worse than what we have?
I'm hoping this is where
more money out of the football.
I'm hoping there's
they can everywhere else.
With the football club, when it goes, there's some sort of deed of covenant with it, or whether the football regulator says, this club can only be sold under these conditions or something like that. I'm hoping there's something in there like that. But when people say it's a business, no one's going to come in and buy any football club if they don't think of it as a business. Not for that amount of money, or even for a couple of billion. They're not, are they?
Because I put it in your chat earlier, Bobby. I put it in your chat earlier, Bobby. Knowing our luck, we'll get Mike Ashley.
Well, you look at Ashley, right? The Newcastle fans, they had better protests than our fans did, right? They did everything more. They boycotted games. They did that and the other. And when did Ashley sell? When he was ready to sell, because he owned the club.
Then you say that, Adrian. With United,
the Blazers, they've had thousands of fans storm the stadium, and they're still there.
They got Man United, Liverpool called off.
The fans got Ed Woodward out, though.
The fans were great with the blue and gold when it comes to the fouled
purple and gold,
Super League. Yeah. That was that was good.
Us fans, right? Us fans, we got so much power, but we don't use it. We got 150 people protesting outside the ground if we're lucky. Most times it's about 50 people with that.
I was going to say there was less than that when I went there.
Yeah, it's around
like 20 when I turned up.
Yeah, when it's just we've got all the power, the fans. We can take all the equity away from the club by not going and spending money, not going to the games. We could do a lot, but we don't.
Ellie, taking out a worst case scenario, how much money do you think Spurs make from a game?
Oh, right. It's around about. I was watching Sean Butler. I'm sure he said around about £1 to £2 million.
No, we take a million. We take a million and pies and beer. It's about.
way more than
It's
that.
up
5
to
to,
about,
5 to 6 million nearly every
exactly.
match.
It's
We
about
make £5 to £6
Sorry,
million
is that
pound
pound a
profit.
year?
right.
No.
So
Is
you're
that clear
talking,
No. Turnover.
Turnover,
no,
yeah.
right,
I was
so
talking
you-
about clear
right.
profit.
So you're talking 120 million, right? That's us fans going to the game, buying food and all that, right?
That's a lot of beer.
120 million, right? Off of 550 million. What's that leave you? 330 million? 430 million, right? So at a cold light of day, if no one went to them games like during COVID, right, the club is still they raked in 228 million in sponsorship last year, right? You've now got the TV money, which goes to Tottenham Hotspur Football Athletic
but
Company Limited,
Adrian, you're
which is more
missing
money.
the point as well, right? If there's no fans there, there's no joy for people to watch it on the telly, will they? They won't watch. They won't watch dead games with no fans in, because the fans make the atmosphere. The fans are football.
Well, I don't know how it was there, Ellie, but over here, all the games that were televised, they basically had fake fan noise. It was generated fan noise.
We're faking it, Bobby K, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, well,
They're
we're
faking
faking
it.
pretending to be a football club right now, too. That's what's gotten so many people frustrated, right?
Allegedly, that's what the WWF do as well, or WWE, whatever it's called now. That they have like fake fan noise.
I mean, listen, Brian and fair play to Brian and the protestmen, because I mean they made Levy feel very uncomfortable. I think you're sort of reaching the limits of what you can actually do with the fan base there, but they don't like it. They don't like anything that's bad for business. You know, sponsor won't come because there's trouble at the mill. You know what I mean, and things like that. But I just don't. It's a hard one, isn't it, to mobilise support. And then you have to look at our fan base. It's the demographics of our fan base. We're spread so far and wide anyway.
And have dramatically changed, Adrian, in the face of that fan base. Because I'm sorry to say, but Levy doesn't want anybody sitting on this panel in that stadium except for me.
Well, called it Kieran Maguire.
Honestly, because I'm the idiot that's going to fly over there. I'm the idiot that's going to go to the shop. I'm going to spend the money in the shop because I've come all the way over there for a game, which is a very rare treat for me. I went to that stadium last year for the NLD. It'll be a couple of years before I go again. Am I going to deprive my children and say, sorry, no, we can't spend money in here? They're children. They don't understand the politics of everything. I never understood any of this stuff until I joined YouTube, until you guys really opened my eyes to what's happening with the club. And I believe that's where a lot of our fans are, is that they just look at the results. Oh, hey, we won today. Fantastic. Oh, we lost. Oh, well, let's go get an ice cream.
Well, this is something to frighten you then, because Kieran Maguire, when I read an article about him, he was talking about the fact that in an ideal situation for owners, you wouldn't even have any season ticket holders at the ground.
Yeah.
Basically, you'd have the market research done over a couple of generations that they know they could fill the stand with tourists, basically 2,000 or 3,000 flying into a career each match, this, that, and the other. And then I mean, my concern is, having loved this club watched them play over 60 years, is that, you know, football, it's not just losing its soul at Tottenham. Right, this is happening everywhere. These clubs are trying to make money now, and I fear, doesn't mean to say that someone who's got a lot more money than me that's in the South Stand won't sing as loud and proud, but I just doubt it. I think you're just losing something. We're gradually, as a fan base and the traditions of being a fan and having it in your blood and your DNA, I just think it's just being gradually eroded.
No, you're right. This way. Even the section that we sat in when we went for that NLD, it seemed to be more of an overseas kind of section, a tourist fan section. I had a guy sitting there turn to me and hear me speaking and was like, "You're not from here." And I said, "No, we're from Canada and everything." And he's like, "Oh, great, all these tourist fans." And Paddy was with me and he asked, "Oh, you're from Ireland and stuff." And then we spoke to a couple of fans in and around us. Nobody was from there, was from England. Everybody in our area was from somewhere else. And this guy was a Londoner and he was pissed off about it because he's like, "This is the problem." He goes, "The noise in this," he goes, "You watch." And he was an older fella and he spoke to me through the game and everything. He goes, "You go over there where it's more of the locals and you're gonna the passion level is significantly higher. The anger towards what's happening on the pitch, the aggression towards players being, you know, not doing something properly, and calling them out, basically. Whereas,
yeah, I've said this.
Try. Way to go.
Yeah. I've said this before, Bobby. I think Ellie vouched for me here as well. That I've said that basically the atmosphere at Tottenham now is a lot different and very, very touristy.
1 million percent.
Back at the White Hart Lane, it was massively different. The atmosphere was totally different, and it's a shame. It's a shame, really.
Bobby,
Put it this way.
what's it like with sports?
Put it this way.
Canada,
Hang on a minute. I ain't said nothing for bloody ages. Right. Put it this way. Bobby is 1,000,000% correct. He is, because no, you are, sir. You are. No, because if the club had its way, they'd have people like Bobby coming over that they know would go in the club shop, £200-300 on all the apparel that's going to go, well, £400 then that's going to go in your bag to take. That's going to go in your bag to take back to Canada. I mean, it's not going to be likes of me that go up there, refuse to buy anything in the stadium because I just won't.
Mark, I don't know outside of the stadium where should I go have a pint instead of being in
exactly.
there.
Exactly.
I don't know what's local.
Exactly.
First, I'm coming into Tottenham hearing about how it's not a good area. Don't go wandering here. Don't go wandering there. As soon as the sun goes down, get the hell out of there. The vampires are coming.
And plus,
why am I going to go wandering around? I'm going to sit my ass in the stadium. I'll pay the extra £1 or £2 or £3.
Yeah, for a pint, for a beer,
for safety reasons. And for my, so again, that hampers that as well for the locals.
Well, put it this way.
I spent 400, Mark, and I'm telling you, I was one of the lower spending people.
Well, exactly.
I in front of me spent £1,100.
They do not want people like me to go in there that won't buy a drink in there, that won't go in the number 8 bar and pay £8, £9 a pint, whatever it is, because Levy owns that as well. I will go to the Bricklayers where it's £5 a pint. I will go to the Bill Nick where it's £5 a pint. Yeah. I will go to the pubs that the club don't own.
Mark, because you're there.
Yeah, it's because I've been before and I know.
If I'm flying over as a fan, and I'm going to generalize most tourist fans here and say that we're not going to do that investigation. We're not going to know that that bar is owned by Levy. We're still putting money in. Those things. Those are not even going to come into our mind at all.
No, of course they're not. Of course they're not. Because for you, when you turned up at the stadium, you had an 8-hour flight to get here from Toronto. And to be honest, when you walked up the high road and you saw the big spaceship there, sat there, I bet you were like, wow. Wow. Yeah,
honestly, I was.
Wow. In your first...
There, Barry, as soon as we turned the corner, I saw the stadium, I was in awe.
Yeah. And your first question is, where's the club shop? And I don't blame you for that. I mean, your first thing is where's the club shop? And your kids were like, come on, Dad, give us your wallet.
Well, to be fair, as most people know, for those that don't know, it was Little K's birthday. It was my son's birthday. Yeah. So he had got birthday money. He had got Christmas money because it was right after Christmas. So he then was given a significant amount of funds to use, and that's where he wanted to use them.
And the money for holding up that liquor store, Bobby K. There was that as well.
It was a bag, Adrian.
Come on. Right.
Sorry, I had a cousin turn me on to them when I was 16 years old. I never looked back. It was between them and Man United. It was between Sheringham and Giggs. I took Sheringham. I never looked back.
I wanted to ask you, Bobby K.
Yes.
What's it like with sports franchises and the fans in Canada?
It's the same thing. This is what I'm saying, Adrian. If you look at Toronto Maple Leafs, which is the biggest marketed team close to me, which is NHL hockey team. If you look at them, the parallels between Tottenham, Enoch, and MLSE, who operate the Toronto Raptors, the Toronto Blue Jays, and the Toronto Maple Leafs, it's disgusting almost how similar they are. They're all about profit. The Maple Leafs have not won a Stanley Cup, which is the only one cup available to them every year since 1966 or 67. They wear blue and white. It's absolutely insane. The prices keep going up. I believe they're number one. They're in the top 3 for sure in the league for ticket prices. And again, where is that money going back into the team because they're not winning either? So to me, I look at. I know it's frustrating to us as Spurs fans to look at and say that this has turned into a business, and it annoys us because football should be the number one priority. But I see it across the board with a lot of sports. There's very few owners out there that are truly passionate about the sport. I'd be shocked if half of them even know the name of the team they own.
Can I come in here?
Sure,
Because Destiny has said, I've just sort of got it up on my screen here. No owner cares about trophies, just the trophies are a bonus to keep the fans quiet. I'll answer that. Biggest year profit-wise Spurs have had was the year they reached the Champions League final in 2019, and they made a profit of 138 million. Now, you'd think that Levy would realise that football success, I call it success, for Spurs, a Champions League final is success. You would think that he would see that and think to himself, do you know what? Well,
yeah,
you know, football success, relative success and financial success correlates. Now, another stat in the wages revenue, very low at 46, is nothing like 46. I think it's under 40% now. I think we're about the 7th highest wage payer in the Premier League. I think we've got rid of either 32 or 38 million in the last year. And I think
massively, didn't we?
with all the, I mean, we've got rid of 17 players, including loans, this transfer window. 17. Think about that.
Yeah.
17.
We bought five in.
And Spencer's come back. Otherwise, everybody else, I don't think anyone. I think Reguilon's come back, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So,
Adrian, so sorry, Ian. Carry on.
So for me, it's what about the other big five that keep winning trophies?
Yeah,
they're making money, aren't they? They're all making money.
The other situation is that you can fall in and be, can be deceiving. So if we win the Europa League this year or any trophy, winning trophies might appease the fans temporarily, but it's not going to change the direction of the club, is it?
Has to be consistent, Adrian.
Yeah,
and that's
Adrian.
If we don't know the direction.
Because there is. I mean, I've been on the worst end of this with friends of mine at the stadium. The club have got no empathy with the fans.
No.
If you're going to take concessions away from the disabled person's carer on ticket prices, if you can put ticket prices up to rake in just another 3 million, I mean, I think a lot of this is disgusting. Even the prices to have no water stations around, free water around the ground like you would have. I used to have them had to be compulsory when I was running sites. You had to have free water for people there, like bottled water and stuff like that. And then, all right, they've got paramedics walking around, but to me, you should have stations on each concourse floor where you know where it is, so you ain't got to go and hunt for someone. You can find someone. My friend had a turn. I had to go and queue for a bottle of water. I had to beg the guys at the things that I could walk through because I wasn't in his section, so as I could get him to his seat so he could sit down, right, and things like that. And I wasn't happy, right? There's other things. I go to the lift, I've got a few conditions. I don't want to talk about them. I'm full as fit as a fiddle. I'll outlive you lot, right? But I mean, like, I get questioned, like, people look at me, I don't look the youngest. I'm 70 in Jan, you know what I mean? But like, and then question me because I want to take the lift to the 5th floor where my seat is, and something.
I went to go in the lift. I went to go in the lift on the 5th floor.
Well,
not because I'm unfit. It's because I was drunk.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And I couldn't physically walk up the steps.
But you've never been to the ground sober, Mark. You've never been there sober.
Well, there is that.
Have you seen the football we've had to watch? Can you blame them?
You like to do them con artists in casinos in there. They see you coming, right?
Yeah.
They see you coming. I mean, and so like I ain't walking up 5 flights of stairs to get to my seat. I
had no choice.
Twice on the way up, I mean, like it's like there's just no empathy with the fans now. And they're just a general squeeze, like you said, Mark, is to make more money.
Yeah, of course it is.
But I mean, I can lance boils, I can research, I can criticise the club from loads of angles, right? But I can't offer solutions because I haven't got any. It's easy to lance boils and not offer solutions, but I haven't got any. I mean, like, what is the solution to this? You do need to be able to mobilise support, but when is the next time you're waiting for the next PR blunder by the club, to enrage fans, or you're waiting. I don't know what you're waiting for. But our fan base, I don't believe our fan base is, I think, a big mistake of the protest movement. And I've been to 3, didn't stay long. I can't stand too long in one spot anyway, right? I've been to 3 outside the ground. I ain't been to the training ground and all that, like, just to say hello to a few people I've seen online and that. And but I don't know how you can mobilise support. Somehow they've got to join up with the trust, because the trust have been much maligned at times by the protest movements and all that. But they have done some good work. And even if I've got no faith in the fans advisory board. They're all going to go native. You know that they're going to go native when they get free tea and biscuits or whatever. So I've got no faith in that at all. They're making any changes. And you can't. And when the trust before demanded they'll resign over the Super League, the club just cut them off. I mean, if you want to go in and kick the boardroom door down and bang your fist on the table and demand this, that, and the other, you're just going to be shown the way out. So I don't know. You've just got to be calculating and clever about the way you go about things if you want to get the club, but to change some things here and there. I'm not hopeful, though. I tell you, I'm not.
But
hopeful.
Adrian, you've already hit the nail on the head. We are not an entity they're concerned about, because we are a turnover entity. We can be replaced tomorrow. We are no more than a number to them.
Yeah.
That's
look how many people are waiting on the list for season tickets, Bobby. You know what I mean?
How many people are trying to come over there as tourists even and get tickets and how hard it is.
Phil,
yeah,
fallacy, mate. I know someone spoke to me who was offered a season ticket. There was about 28,000 on the list last summer.
28,000? I thought it was more than that.
28,000 on the list. And they're offered a season ticket.
I thought it was way more than that.
I thought
this was going back probably about 6 months.
No, that's what he was. No.
I'm going back.
You're not getting what Ian was saying. You're not getting what Ian was saying. Ian said he was 28,000. I think there's about 100,000 in there on the waiting list, Ian.
I must say, a lot of those people cannot afford season tickets.
Yeah.
No, they're on the list because they're members.
Right.
Yeah.
And that gives them a chance of getting a ticket when home tickets go on sale.
Yeah.
There's something like 6,000 or 8,000 that go on sale.
Right.
And if you got 100,000 members, so you got 6,000 to 8,000 tickets for 100,000 people potentially. But
so worse, 50 quid a year membership for that.
50 quid a year. So that's 50. 5 million.
We had to do that. We had to get our Spurs membership, one Hotspur, and then the kids ones as well, just so we could get tickets.
Yeah, to know the member list.
That was another £80, I think it cost me.
There are 2 member lists. You've got the Hotspur 1 Plus member list, right? They pay a fiver more to go on the waiting list. So if you know what that list is, that is the list of your waiting list for your members. It's quite easy to get it, right? When its stadium first opened, the total at the time dropped off. Well, it was about 170,000, believe it or not.
But I've got to tell you something, Adrian. If
it's dropped off, it's probably about 70,000 now, 80,000 maybe. Might be 100k. I don't know.
If the club aren't successful, and they carry on being unsuccessful, and then the league position starts slipping, and we're mid-table, you watch the crowds drop off.
Oh, yeah.
There's only so far they can push people financially.
Yeah, true. But at the same
people
time,
just don't have the money. People are going into debt to buy season tickets.
Right. At worst case scenario, we don't have a big enough financial effect to even stop buying out the shop. Token gestures. If you're taking 120 million, right, a season from fans, $1 million a game in food and pies, and then the rest in ticket sales, right? The club are making 4 times as much money than what we don't. At the worst case scenario, they could suffer us. They can suffer. They know they can afford, and the amount that are going to protest anyway is so small. So it doesn't. It's not even a drip in a bucket to them.
Adrian, if you're getting 40,000, that's a big drop. That's merchandise, that's tickets, that's food and beverage.
Yeah, it could be 3 million a game. Say it's half the crowd. Say it's 33 and half the whatever.
No, but hang on a second. But then you lose on all the Sky money because you're not as high up in the league. You're not winning trophies. You're not on telly as much.
Yeah, you're paid on your finish.
It all adds up. It all adds up. They've got to. You see, this is it. They're very clever because they spend just enough to keep the club semi-competitive,
relevant,
no challenge.
Yeah. I think you will see a scenario where Enoch probably will go at some point, but Daniel Levy won't be going.
Not in our lifetime.
I think. Yeah, I mean, the problem is that the owners, they don't align. Everything doesn't align at this club at the moment in terms of ambition, and that's where the problem is. You know, the owners have a different ambition to what the manager does, because the manager, Ange, you know, he does want to win. He's a winner. He's won everywhere he's been. Granted, it's lower leagues and whatnot, you know. But
so had Jose.
At the end of the day, nothing aligns at this club in terms of ambition, and that's where we are going wrong at this club.
Well, I mean, we're probably all of the same ilk here. I mean, I don't, even if whether we win trophies or not, or even if we win trophies, I don't think anything's going to change anyway. Not towards the fans. I mean, it'll make us all happier. We've won a trophy. We go get drunk or whatever and celebrate. But
you speak for yourself.
Well, okay. All right. I know you're on the wagon now, Mark.
Teetotal.
Yeah, right. So, like, yeah. I mean, I don't see the direction of football in general, just not just Spurs, changing. I think it's going to become America lead the way in how to do business, and I think we're just going to follow that route.
So we're just going to become a money-making machine, not even a football club, basically.
No, it'll still be a football club. The football generates the money, doesn't it? Look what money. I mean, a football club generates more money than anything else. All these other events they have on. I mean, basically, the stadium is leased. The shows get the ticket sales. Spurs still get all the money for the food and drink. Don't think look, you take West Ham Stadium. They don't get no money for food and drink. They've been given that stadium. We paid for it, by the way. We paid for it, taxpayers and Merton Council, right? They get a free stadium. But they don't get no money for the food and drink. I think they've still got to play for all the steward and policing and stuff like that, you know. But Spurs will still get that. Plus, they'll get the fee for leasing the stadium, for renting it out. You know, it'll all be worked out. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know how much they make out of those events. I mean, like, I've got no idea. But that is money.
A lot.
But if it's made out of the football club, then it has to go when it's in the financial report at the end, when all the breakdowns are done from different things like Spurs shot, blah, blah, blah. It all has to go in a financial report. So it is part of the money of Spurs. They can't nick it and siphon it off or anything like that without, you know, but they don't have to. They don't have to.
What gets me is we are one of the biggest spenders in the Premier League, and yet we're still struggling to compete for trophies. Do you know what I mean? That just baffles me. Like,
it wasn't just the spending that was the big problem at the club, though, was it, Phil? Let's be fair.
Well, it's the recruitment. The recruitment side of it is a massive issue for us.
Crap, right? And the structure of the footballing side of the club was crap.
Yeah.
And it's been ripped apart and changed now. We all hope for the better. From all the coaching levels through the academy levels, it's all been changed. That was down to Parachichi. You couldn't believe what he saw when he was there. Dean Rastrick, when he was with the academy, right? They had a set pay structure for academy kids. We ain't going to bring kids in on a fixed pay structure. I know we don't want kids earning X amount of money ourselves. You think
we were losing kids to all the other London clubs.
Exactly. Yeah, we're losing all the best kids. And under 17s and under 18s did well the year before season last. Or under 21s the season before last were crap. I watched them, right? They were rubbish. Then we started bringing them in, paying them money. I mean, Lancashire cost us, like, depending on the reports you believe, 2 to 3 million off of Sheffield. But he left Arsenal. We pay him £3 million for a 17-year-old. Lancashire was 17. Look how much we recently paid for Bergvall. And even Gray for his age. It was unheard of. That would have been unheard of a few seasons ago. Although with Bergvall and Gray, I mean, I believe, it's just my belief, I think they're going to be stars. I think they're going to be stars.
But Adrian, that's how the clubs are going now.
They all are, yeah, Ian. They are.
They're going down the route of trying to find gems, you know, for little money, bring the kids through, you know, and potentialise them. Whether it's going to be first team and then a sale, or, you know, they're going to be sort of lifelongers like Terry, Gerrard, Kane. Virtually, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the likes of someone like Man United, they're too big to be a family club. When you're a small and you're in the Southern League or you're one of these medium-sized clubs who are in an area where you can only, because of the population and demographics, your maximum crowd pool is going to be this, maybe a few people from outside your area, and you're never going to grow and be big and whatever. Then you can be a family club. Peterborough can be a family club. When I listen to the guy on TalkSport chatting in the mornings with Jim White, their chairman, it sounds like he's got his head screwed on. But he knows it's realistic. He knows where he is. He knows his limitations, right?
But you don't have to spend 40 million on a foreign player for things to be successful. Split wanted to get Bowen in for 8 million. 8 million from Hull.
Yeah.
What a miss that was.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I haven't got any solutions. I mean, if there were, I think Brian Daigle would have thought them up long before I would. I mean, like, even if you try to get a think tank together, I think you still end up just banging your head against the wall, trying to find ways that, you think the club should show. If they make that much money, they should show some empathy with the fans, in my opinion.
There's nothing. There's no connection with the fan base at all.
Yeah, there's no reason why they shouldn't. Maybe they will this year for a token year. Next season, freeze the prices to appease the fans for one season or something like that. But then when they did that before, they put all the booze price up. They put all the food prices up. Right? So and I mean, 80 quid for a shirt. You haven't. I can't remember the last.
Give something back and then take it away.
£1,000 worth of Spurs stuff. I've got pajama bottoms. I've got tracksuit bottoms. I've got hoodies. I've got sweatshirts. I've got Fred Perry's. I've got t-shirts. And I've not got one football shirt. Why?
I must tell you, Adrian, I went on a stadium tour at the Bernabeu in 2010, 2011, 2010, I think. And a shirt was €139 in the club shop.
How much is that in pound?
Over £100, 150.
I'm pretty sure at the club shop when we were there were £110 for a shirt, and it was another, I think, £20 or £25 to have a name on the back.
Well, the names and the numbers, there's something like £5 a letter and £5 a number and £2 a letter. So if you got someone with about 20 letters in their surname, that all adds up. Because I normally got Kane because it only had 4 letters.
Like one of them Canadian Polish people that got Kowalski name or something like that.
Mine's simple, just 4 like Kane. I just changed the last letter to a G.
Yeah, exactly. It was something like that. It might be more expensive. I think the last time I got a name put on the back of mine, it was like £2 a letter and £5 a number.
I'm probably wrong, but I could have sworn it was over £100 just for a shirt with no name on it.
But there's two shirts you can get now. There's a normal shirt, and then there's like the player special.
The player, that's the one I'm talking about. The ones that they actually wear or whatever. They were more.
The ones this season for that standard shirt are £125, which is crazy.
Yeah, the elite shirt or something it's called.
It's the elite one. That's it, the elite one.
I've not bought anything from a club shop ever, so. I haven't bought anything since they not died down White Hart Lane. I haven't bought a Spurs shirt.
I get all my Spurs shirts for the thing that Brian Daigle put me in contact with.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
DHA.
Yeah. No. It's a group.
Oh, a cult. Okay.
Well, no. Well, it's I don't know. Brian put me in contact with it. It's all right. I've got a shirt off him. I got the brown one from last year.
Yeah, I got that cappuccino one, right?
Yeah.
I got that from DHgate as well.
So, Hez, are you going for 5 wins out of these games coming up?
No.
What do you mean, no? You do surprise me.
That's shocking to hear because he's so positive all the time. Such an annoying happy slapper.
No. I don't class myself as a, I don't lean. Well, I don't think I lean. Well, other people label you how they label you, don't they? I just deal with facts, mate. That's all I do, and I just say as I see it on games and players and things like that. But But I just class myself as a Spurs fan. That's it with me. Other people can label me what they want, you know. But
you're going to be 70. Do you really care what people label you? I'm only 48 and I don't care.
I always try. No, what I try to do, I want to mislead people or wrongly influence them. I always try to bring facts to the table, you know. So, and then people can debate whether they agree, disagree, you know, which is healthy stuff, I think, and it's good to have contrasting opinions anyway. So we got these games coming up, guys. I spoke to Ian and Mark about this before. How, like, you know, you got the Arsenal game, then there's Coventry away, but when we could play carrier bag, as people have been calling them, carrier bag, we got Man United away on the Sunday, you know, so those wondering whether we're going to play weak sides. We're not going to put a weaker side out than we had at Fulham, but
I think we only beat Brentford and Karabakh, if I'm being honest.
Really?
Yeah.
That's more positive than usual from you, though, Hez.
I was going to say, that's really shocking.
As you don't think we'll beat Coventry?
No, I just think he'll rest 10 players again or something like that, and then we'll get knocked down.
Do some sort of madness.
Yeah.
Because we've got the Brentford game afterwards on the weekend, and they'll prioritise the league, I think. So,
in the chat, how many games do you think we're going to win out of these, chat? I'll put them up again. Right.
I think, like I said, I think we'll lose to Arsenal, we'll lose to Coventry, we'll bounce back against Brentford and Karabakh, and we'll lose away to United, probably.
Sunday, Adrian, Arsenal is.
Is it 2 o'clock? Wait,
Sunday the 15th, 2 o'clock.
9 a.m. here, yeah.
Right, so I've got
only one turning up at the ground on Saturday.
Right.
No, because I thought it might be 1:30. That's why I asked.
No, it's not on my fixture list I printed out at the beginning of the season. It's on the see this on that. Right, it's on the 14th before it's been changed, so I've copied it off of that. Right, so if it's the 15th, it's the 15th. I shall be there. Any of you lot going? Or can't go?
Yeah.
Can't go. You're going?
No, I haven't got any tickets. I was going to come up just for the atmosphere around the pubs and whatnot and watch it in the pub there, but I'm not sure yet.
Will you be taking antidepressants before the game has, or?
I'm quite numb to it now, so like it just kind of flows through. We lose the game, I'm just not really expecting anything else, so it's just like
Mark's frightened. Mark will tell you a story. Mark's frightened to go to Spurs with the Dorset crowd anyway. Tell him why, Mark.
Well,
Dorset
I've only been with the Dorset. I've only been with the Dorset lot once, and I've never been so drunk in my entire life. apart from nearly every Saturday. No. But they do. Well, put it this way: we got the Fleet, which is a service station on the M3, and what's them bloody drinks called? Jaeger bombs come out, and I made an excuse that I can't drink and I'm diabetic. I can't drink that. Just pass me another can of lager. But they do like a drink. I'll give them that.
And what happened on the way home? What happened on the way home?
They dumped me in Dorchester, and I had to go and sit in the bloody hospital A&E for 8 hours so I could catch a train home. Which is why I don't go with them anymore.
I don't even drink anymore, so I'm drunk. I had 3 drinks in like 2 years, so
I wish I had your willpower.
Yeah.
I had a drink when England were in the final against Spain in the Euros. That was it. And I haven't had a drink since. And I don't miss it, to be honest with you. But if Spurs win a trophy, I will have a drink.
No, probably will as well.
I'm not expecting
that means
to get drunk anytime soon. I'm not expecting to get drunk anytime soon.
Yeah.
Right. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Or we'll go through the fun Q&A.
I thought we were all going to go through here. What if you got Harry's depressing?
Yeah.
Black cloud over here, man.
What did Has predict?
All losses, was it?
No. I said we'll beat Brentford and Karabakh.
I think the easiest win there.
Okay, that was good for you, man.
Yeah.
Easy 3 points again.
But the thing is, you say that, yeah. He only asked me about the next game, and then I give him my result, and he's like, "Yeah, it's not positive." But then when you asked me 5 games, I gave some wins, and that was like positive. So I don't know.
Well, be glad it has now. I mean.
Coventry did play well against Man United last year. Mustn't forget.
That's why I don't think we'll win either, because they were so good against United. I think they'll be up for it because it's a cup game under the lights midweek.
I think
is it on Wednesday? By the way,
Spurs once at the stadium in about 120 years or something like. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah,
I think we beat them in a conference league or something. We beat them in Europe. I think it was in a conference league.
We ain't had Bobby's predictions for the 5 games.
Come on, Bobby.
Yeah,
on, guys.
All right,
the
5
fact that you're even asking me is disappointing. 5 wins, baby. Come on, you Spurs. Let's go.
I'm the same. I don't see why not.
You know what, Adrian? This is why I don't care. I get called a deluded, happy clapper, whatever. Because to me, reality sucks, and this is an escape from reality. Football to me is about joy and passion. I'm okay with losing as long as I see commitment and effort. What we've seen over the last few years, I think, is what's made us so jaded. Is that we're not even seeing that commitment and effort. We're questioning, why is this player doing that? Why is that player doing that? Why are you not running? At least run. Make a tackle. Do something. Pass the ball 5 yards to the right guy, not the guy on the other team. They wear different colored jerseys. It's all those little things that have built up the frustration. But I'm always going to stick there and assume that we can win every single game before we go into
there, aren't they? I mean, like looking at Man United when Liverpool played. I mean, Man United are a big name, but they've got some rebuilding to do there. I mean, like it's never easy at Old Trafford anyway. But this is the time you want to play them early in the season when they've had a few bad results.
Right, the rest of us went through this, didn't we?
They're missing Rice, but I think that's it, isn't it?
They are different class to us. They don't concede goals.
Yeah.
They know how to defend, for one.
They know exactly. I mean, they were down to 10 men. They didn't buckle against Brighton.
Although Brighton did push them hard. Brighton aren't bad. They're a good side. Brighton.
Yeah, I'm impressed with Brighton.
Tip them for top 6 this year, or whatever. But you don't know because you don't know. I don't know nothing about their squad depth and all that, how that'll affect them and everything else. So that's the advantage you have being even a Man United. You can be a poor Man United team, but they're going to have a bloated squad. So squad depth is not going to kill them. So overall, they can get over most of their hurdles because they've got a squad. It might not be a brilliant squad, but like last year, the way they crept up the league. Look at the way Chelsea crept back into it after their disastrous run.
So they had a great manager, didn't they?
Yes, and he went and he left because he weren't a yes man. Yeah. So, you're saying we're going to win Brentford and Qarabag? That's it, yeah?
Yeah.
Pretty positive from you, though, I've got to admit. Bobby K, can you do any better? Can you call 6 points and raise him or whatever? Can you?
How many points are on the table? 18, so we'll get 20.
Yeah.
No, in all seriousness, Arsenal at home, I
could go anyway, couldn't it?
It could go anyway because we do have that home factor, of course, that does influence games. I honestly think that's going to be a draw. I think we can actually get a point out of there. Win against Coventry, win against Brentford, win against Bag, and Man United again. They are on a worse roller coaster than we are.
We drew with them last year, didn't we? Away, won it 2-2.
Yeah,
was that? Yeah, it was that late goal, right?
I'd expect at least worst ways. I mean, I'll always go for wins, but worst ways, I'd expect worst thing to happen. I'd expect a draw at home at Arsenal, and I'd expect to draw away at Man United and win the other 3. That's my worst way to go. But did you finish all your predictions, Bobby?
No, just with the Man U one was left. Again, I think they're on a bigger roller coaster than we are.
Yeah.
So I really think that their fan base is turning a lot more on Ten Hag than our fan base has turned on Ange, and we all know how many of our fan base want Ange out already.
And have you heard, Bobby K, the price of umbrellas at Man United since their roof leaks? Gone through.
I thought you got complimentary umbrellas when you got a ticket to the
stadium now. Come through that stand
and rain boots.
The
Wellington's an umbrella with every ticket bought to the ground.
It's theatre of streams now, isn't it? Instead of theatre of dreams.
Who slots in for Rice? Partey's gone, is he not?
No, Partey's still there.
Yeah, Partey's still there. Rice is out. That new signing Marino isn't playing either.
Probably going to play.
Yeah, and Calafiori might be injured, but they've got Saliba and what's the name at the back anyway. Your Odegaard, haven't you?
I think he'll probably play Odegaard. He might play Jorginho, but I don't know if he'll do that after last year.
I think he'll put Havertz in the midfield with Partey and Odegaard, and then they'll play Jesus up top. I reckon that's what they're going to play.
He's injured though, isn't he? Jesus.
Is he injured? Is he? Right. Well, they might do it like it'd be Trossard, Martinelli, maybe. Trossard might play as a false nine. Could be.
Maybe. There was rumor. Arsenal fans were saying to apparently play Sterling as a false nine, but I don't know.
Well, I forgot about him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll have a drink when we meet up, Chris. I'll have a drink with you anytime. Yeah, so that's them games, yeah? Let's move on. I'm just going through the chat, which Mark was supposed to be doing, you know what I mean, with me.
Well, I can't do that, can I? I ain't got the keys to the kingdom like you.
No, we went off on good subjects. That's okay. It doesn't matter.
Oh, Partey, Jorginho. I just saw Destiny. Yeah, Jorginho's still there as well, right? I don't know why the hell I thought Partey was gone. But on that note, gents, I do got to go. I'm supposed to leave a half hour ago. I'm supposed to be driving Jay 2.5 hours back to his college today. So I've got a nice 5-hour round trip coming up. Yay!
Oh, that's down the road for you.
What's that?
That's only down the road for you.
Then you got an Uber out there. Put him on an Uber.
I tried to put him on a train, but his mom wouldn't have it.
You tried?
Yeah. My baby, 6'2" baby. Sure. Yeah. But I will just carry on. I appreciate you having me on for the first time, letting me make my debut. Nice to meet Ian. I know I've never streamed with you before.
We should get you and Coover on together.
Nice to see you again, Bobby. I haven't seen you in ages.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's good to see you.
Every time I try to get hold of you, obviously you got your time zone and other things.
Well, you know how my summer was, Adrian. Even we didn't stream on our channel. We did like 3 shows the entire summer. It's kind of
we know you were ignoring us, like, you know what I mean.
Oh, don't worry. You're not at the top of the ignore list. I have started making a list, but you're not on it yet. Okay. Yeah. Mark has kind of been on and off the list sometimes.
Yeah.
He's good. He's off the list for now, though.
Bobby, he's on everyone's list, like.
Yeah. No, but I really appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you.
No, we'll get you back. We'll get you back because you've done
definitely. I'll be more available now because everything's settled. Jay has gone off to school and everything.
So you're mainly Sundays, is it? Mainly Sundays?
No, during the week I should be good too. Yeah, we'll start pitching a few more things.
I'm not doing Tuesday this week because even this show, I mean, we'll probably be doing a rehash of Arsenal because Friday, because the game's Sunday. Right. So, yeah. And
we'll sort something out. You got my number, buddy. By all means, message me.
Yeah.
Mark messaged me today. I appreciate it, Mark. Thank you. And again, thanks for inviting me.
You know, that's the least I could do.
Great to see you, Phil. Ian.
Before you go, you've got answers every guest. How did you become a Spurs fan?
Oh, basically when I was 16, I was in England at the time. It was 1992. It was right after we had kind of had the commitments done with Teddy Sheringham, and I had watched him score that goal against Bulgaria. He didn't score, where he set up Les Ferdinand, where he cut through the middle and pitched the ball right up to Les, put it on his chest. And I was like, wow. At that time, we didn't have access to football here. So I saw that play happen live, and it was one of the greatest things I'd ever seen at the time. And I turned to my cousin, and I was like, who is that? Oh, my God, that was amazing. And he's like, that's Teddy Sheringham. He's going to come to Tottenham. I was like, at the time, it was between Giggs and him. I took Sheringham. He came to Tottenham. I stuck to Tottenham. Here I am all these years later, and I wouldn't change a damn thing about it.
All right. So you became a fan after we just won the FA Cup.
So basically I've cursed us.
And the inaugural year of the Premier League in 1992. So, yeah.
So I've been the curse since. So that's why I don't like talking about.
You're the Bok. You're the Bok, right?
Yeah. I'm the guy Harry really hates. I'm the reason we don't win.
All right. Well, thanks.
It's not Ange Harry. Sorry, it's me. Love you. Bye. But take care, everybody. Thanks again. Have a great night.
Yes, Bobby.
Come on, you Spurs. Let's go.
Come on.
Right, cool. Shall
Top
we have a
man,
bit of fun,
Bobby.
guys? Want a bit of light
Top
entertainment? We can do, just Name a favourite player. Choose a particular victory. Select a special goal. If you're up for it, we've been going 2:38. You don't sound enthusiastic.
Favourite experience, Adrian?
For me, experience.
Favourite moment supporting Spurs?
Right, for me, I'll go first for one of mine, right? It has to be. I've experienced, don't all cry and get all jealous and want to poke pins in a goal. I've experienced Spurs win 14 trophies in my life. But the experience, right, the one that really vibrated through me, resonated with me, was in the 1984 second leg of the UEFA Cup final, when the fans started singing "There's only one Danny Thomas" after he missed his penalty. That sort of summed up to me what being a Spurs fan was. So it was like you were still, the game wasn't decided. Game wasn't even decided, but it was sort of instant round the ground, and like, I don't know. Was you there at all for that one, Ian, or not? No, I don't know.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
Is that the Anderlecht final?
Yeah, that was Anderlecht.
Yeah.
And they would
That's one of my dad's favourite games as well.
Forest should have met us in the final because Anderlecht would later get done for bribing the referee. Yeah. So corruption was rife. It's been rife, always been rife in football. Your favourite experience, Ian? Or one off, just one, you know.
Just the one. Delhi laying the ball off, Mora's shot. It nestled in the corner in front of us. We looked down, we saw the ball hit the back of the net, and there was a momentary before the place went mad. And that was, for me, just amazing. The feeling was just amazing because at half time it was like a morgue where we were in the seat.
Yeah,
standing out, over the corner flag in Amsterdam. It was horrendous. It was like, shit, we got a long way home now. We're 3-0 down, and the first goal went in, and it was like, okay, we got a little bit of a chance. Second goal went in, and everybody's buzzing. Vertonghen's hit the post, I think, after 91 minutes. And I remember turning around to one of the guys along my row and saying, we'll get one more chance. Just had that feeling. Didn't know whether we'd score or not, but you just get a feeling we'll get one more chance. When the ball hit the net, it was just mental. Amazing. Just an amazing feeling.
I'll come to you, Hez. Have you ever had a favourite Spurs experience, Hez, at all? One?
Yeah.
Just one? Have you? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I was at the 99 Worthington Cup final when I was like 7. I still remember, actually, the last goal. Alan
Nielsen.
Alan Nielsen. I was there for that game as well.
Yeah.
After Edinburgh got sent off.
Yes.
Yeah, Savage died or something.
Yeah, he did. He got booed constantly for years after that.
Yeah.
And we was all everyone was screaming to have a Leicester player sent off after that to even the score, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good game to win for being down because we'd done them in the 1960-61 Cup final. That's how we won the double when we beat Leicester. So it's twice we beat them. Funnily enough, we've beaten Wolves twice as well and Chelsea twice.
Robbie Savage was an absolute arsehole that day. He really was. He was on during one of the halves. He was on our side of the pitch and he would run past us because we were sort of sat by the halfway line across the other side of Wembley from the steps. And every time he ran past us, he'd be like that. And we'd all be like giving him crap, and he just wound the whole Tottenham end up throughout the whole game.
Phil, a favourite experience?
It's quite a recent one, really. The Harry Kane record goal scorer at the stadium, at our stadium, Gate City, 1-0. That's the favourite one for me.
Yeah, that's good. Mark?
Actual moment.
You can remember one if you were sober.
No. I was sober enough. No, it's got to be the 91 semi-final. Because Arsenal were running away with the league. Everyone thought they were going to do the double, but we put a stop to it. Gazza's free kick, Lineker with a couple, just to beat them, that feeling that, you know, even though I'd seen the FA Cup final, you know, it was only like 9 years before we'd won the last one. But when we just, especially, you know, the first semi-final, it was at Wembley because no other ground was big enough to hold it. And that made it even more special, especially when Arsenal, because Arsenal ran away with the league that year. And when we put a stop to their double efforts, it just makes it all the more, just makes it more sweet when you beat them on the way to win something.
Well, there's nothing like a good win against the Mickey Mousers, you know. As it jokingly, they say if the Scouser follows you into a revolving door, he comes out first on the other side. They're so slippery, you know what I mean? So, but this win was particularly good, wasn't the 2-1 at the Lane last season? Even though they had a good goal disallowed when Matip put the ball in his own net, which was a forced error. Going to play you out with a crowd on that, and I'll see you all in the back room.
Good